Hello, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, operating in the UK, obviously, France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. If this is the first time you have joined me, don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more videos. If you would like any Stampin' Up products and you are in the UK, France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands, you can find a link to my online store in the information in the description bar. If you enjoy the video, do remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions, do leave those in the comments below. You do realise it's nearly the end of Celebration. End of the month. 30th of September is the last time you can get any Celebration items through the Celebration brochure. So for every £45 you spend, you can choose one of the items, well, a level 1 item from the Celebration brochure. There are a few things that are level 2, which means you need to spend £90 or 120 euros. So the level 1 is £45 or 60 euros, level 2 is £90 or 120 euros. So the Summer Shadows dies, for example, are a level 2, as is the Delicate Dahlias, which is, as you see here, free with either €120 or a £90 order. And it is this one that we are using today, because it's gorgeous. It's a 2-step stamping set. But actually today, although I am going to use this one, basically I'm going to be using the outlines. I have done here's one I prepared earlier, which is this, but I'm going to change it up very slightly. So I've got some of the bedazzling paper, which is a level 1 item. So you can get that for with a £45 or 60 euro order. I have coloured it with a Magenta Madness dark blend to get it to be Magenta Madness, surprisingly. And then I've stamped this on Magenta Madness, heat embossed with white embossing powder, and just added a few pearls. And then on the inside, I've stamped this image in Magenta Madness just to finish it off. Really bright, really, bold. So what I'm doing this time is similar but different, and I have done some prep because some of it does take a while. So I've got my Magenta Madness base. I have already stamped and heat embossed, but this time in black, the flower and 2 sets of leaves. I've got my bedazzling ready, I've got my liner ready, and I have got a piece of card ready to stamp and heat emboss, which is what I'm going to do first. So the only stamps I'm actually going to need to use for this are the Sentiment, which I'm going to do You Inspire Me again, and the Inner for the small floral. So I need Magenta Madness, I need a couple of blocks, so 1 and 2, and you can see that this is already stained. It's clean, it's just stained. So Versamark, great for embossing. I've got an embossing buddy that we used to carry but don't unfortunately anymore. If you can't get your hands on one of these, then corn flour in a muslin bag, something like that, or an old stocking. Couple of layers of old stocking would be good with a bit of corn flour in the middle. So I've inked up my You Inspire Me, and just going to stamp that hopefully straightish on my piece of card. Yes. And then grab my black embossing powder and dabble that over it. I have got a spoon for bigger pieces, but this is small enough I can actually get it in the pot. So that's that. Pop my lid back on. I did actually see someone once at a live demonstration heat emboss down into the pot of embossing powder, and they ended up with a pot of initially molten and then solid embossing powder. It was quite a sight to watch. So trusty cheese board and my heat gun, which I'm just going to heat up under my desk so it's not too loud for you. And then in we come. And the alchemy happens when it starts going shiny. And as soon as it's shiny, you can stop. And then I like to just have a quick look to make sure that I did catch everything, which I did. So that's fine. I am going to leave that to sort of settle for a wee while. And whilst that's happening, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, also known as the back of an order or a shipping label. And I'm just going to stamp my floral in one of the corners. Don't really want to squash my heat embossing until I know it's definitely dry or set. So literally just stamping in the corner. Close that up, and I will clean that quite quickly because the sooner you clean it, the less staining there will be. Staining, as I say, is fine. It's not dirty, it's just stained. So it's not leaving any ink. It's just staining the photopolymer. Doesn't damage it. Right, so I don't need that or that anymore. All I need to do now is bring everything back in and just finish off my card. So I've got my You Inspire Me, I've got my floral, I've got my first leaf. I am going to just quickly fussy cut the second one, and this is really so that anyone new can see how you do this, and it is not difficult. This is one of those things that the more you practice, the better and the quicker you will get at it. But the key is to move the card, not the scissors. So the scissors are only opening and closing. They're not twisting around. I mean, a little, yes, but mostly it's moving the card, not the scissors. So all I'm doing with the scissors is putting pressure on to open and close them. And then come around the top and just leaving a little bit of an edge. That's where the practice really comes in, is leaving that even edge all the way round. If you find that hard, then you can always draw around the outside of your image with a pencil, just very lightly with a soft pencil, and follow that round, and then you can rub out any pencil marks that are left at the end. But you need a soft pencil, so probably a B1 or a B2. Certainly, I mean, HB is okay, but not ideal. But you don't want anything that is an H. Now, I am presupposing here that B's and H's and HB's translate across territory. I know they work in the UK, don't know if they work elsewhere. Anyway, so first thing we need to do is fold our card so that we know where our crease is going to end, and just in case one side is longer than the other, which it is, that I will put to the, I'm going to put the shorter piece to the back. Then my bedazzling, I'm just going to grab some tear and tape and run a length of tear and tape down. I've just cut this bedazzling, having coloured it, I've cut it so it's very fractionally wider than the tear and tape. Tear and tape is 1/4 of an inch wide, so I've cut my bedazzling very slightly wider. So just feed that down and then tear it off. And this is a full length, so it's 6 inches of bedazzling. And then burnish it down with your bone folder. That helps to make sure it's really well stuck. Grab my take your pick to lift the end off. Pull that down, and then this I'm going to line up at the top with the edge, well, with the corner, and then just lay it down there. And then with my sticky scissors, because I have a pair of scissors I keep for adhesive, just trim that off, trim those fuzzy bits off the edge, like that. And that is our bedazzling all nicely lined up. then, let me just burnish this down a little bit better. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back. So just 4 of those. Oops. I'll take the backing off, not the dimensional. And then this, I'm just going to pop a little bit down, but overlapping on the bedazzling. Maybe a little bit further down than that. In fact, I might just do a quick twizzle because this is more angular. So pop that down, and then dimensional on the back of there. Another small dimensional on. Sorry about that. My battery ran out. Well, not my battery, but the camera battery ran out. It's been a day of filming. Right, so that's those. So one of these I'm going to just pop up at the top. The other's going to come down. So I'm going to have one at the top and one at the bottom. And what I want to do is just grab some liquid adhesive and just add a little bit to the bottom there so that I can tuck the end in underneath and squish it down so that it sticks to the background. And then I'm going to repeat that here, just check that I've got the room, yes, because I've got dimensionals on the back of my dahlia. Just need to check that you've got the room, otherwise you can do a little surgery on your leaves and just cut them shorter. And again, a little bit of liquid adhesive on there, and then tuck that in underneath, overlapping the bedazzling again, and just pop that down like that. And then the You Inspire Me is going to be about here, and I'm going to line it up with almost the edge of my card. In fact, this one I might line up exactly on the edge of my card. So I'm just going to chop the end off and add a couple of dimensionals to the back. Well, I say to the back, I'm going to pop one just there, which is roughly where the stamping finishes. Another one there. And then I'm going to pop some liquid adhesive on there, because that's going to stick to the dahlia. And then pick that up and pop it just there. That needs to be held in place for a very short while. And then cut this off the back, or off the edge I should say, but from the back, like that. Just hold that down so that it sticks. There we go. And then rather than pearls, this time I thought I'd use some of the matte black dots, but I'm going to position them pretty much where they were before. So a couple up the top. So they're going to be in 3 areas, which if you follow me regularly, you will know that that makes me happy. Odd numbers are things that make me happy. And then I'll take one of the larger ones and pop that down there. And then to finish off, we just need to add our liner to the inside of the card. Let's get this to wind on. There we go. Do find that every now and again, particularly as you're getting to the end of a roll, you do need to just help it roll a little. If you find it awkward, you can use a silicone mat to help make it roll, because the silicone mat will give it a bit of a key, but it won't stick to the silicone mat. Let me show you what I mean, because it is being a little troublesome. So what you do is you start off the card and come onto it. So you start off on the silicone mat and then come on, and the adhesive won't stick to the silicone mat because it just won't. And again, come off and on, and then you can use the adhesive as your key. See if I can get another piece just there. There we go. And then this I will pop on the inside of my card. I will remove the bits of glue that I now seem to have got on it. There we are. Easy peasy. And that is my alternative version of the card. So the question is, do you prefer it with the black or the white? They're both striking, but which is your preferred version? I would love you to let me know just by leaving a comment in the comments below the description bar. If you'd like to see close-ups and a bit more information about how I made the card, you can hop over to my website, and there's a link to the associated blog post in the description bar. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Have a fantastic day. Don't forget to shop Celebration before it disappears, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!